Hello everyone! So I'm guessing most of us that has wanted to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has wanted to see it, so it's time to spoil the entire freaking movie. And I absolutely had to do a spoilers review of this one because, well, I didn't love the movie. The movie was not bad, it was not awful, it was just okay to me. However, it was one of the worst Marvel movies for me, and I'm going to talk about why. So, let's start out with the very beginning of the movie. We see the flashback of Peter Quill and his mom and his dad, and we see the start of Ego, essentially. And first of all, the face technology thing looked fantastic. I honestly thought they just had Kurt Russell as like in younger makeup or something, or use some old footage. And I think what they did was use the Benjamin Button technology, is a lot of people call it. That's what I call it because I don't know what it's called. And he looked fantastic. This was way better than I've seen it in like any movie ever. That was really cool. Great way to start the movie. And then we saw the Guardians with that amazing action sequence that we kind of saw most of in the trailer. But Baby Groot, oh my gosh. It was, there's a lot of jokes that you can only do so much with it and throw back so many times too. And this Baby Groot thing went on for like 10 minutes. Introducing all the opening credits and all that, and it was just perfect. It was funny, it was hilarious. Groot is hilarious and just adorable, and I think it was just the perfect way to start out this movie. The whole ship's scene where they're going through space and they're trying to avoid the whatever gold things are. I don't even care what they're called because I thought that was stupid. Once again, it's stupid. And we see the back and forth between Rocket and Peter Quill, and I loved that bit. I thought it was just fantastic where they're going back and forth. Yeah, they probably should have crashed and burned, and they kind of did, but I loved that scene, and I thought it was fantastic, and I liked seeing the Guardians together. Which brings me to the next bit of the movie, because the next bit of the movie is where we see Ego come down, and then there's the scene with them all together, and then they split up. Why did they split up? I just didn't like this portion of them. I just didn't like that. The movie lost me at that point. Why do we split up the Guardians of the Galaxy? The reason why I love the first Guardians of the Galaxy is the fact that they're grouped together and the chemistry is fantastic and they can play off each other. Drax can play off this person, that. And I really enjoyed that, and I don't understand why we separated them. Now, there was also that scene with the scavengers and Sylvester Stallone's character, Stakar. Uh, Interesting scene. It wasn't much of anything, and again, the gold people show up, and I really don't care about the gold people, so we're gonna just basically not talk about that part because I don't like it. It doesn't need to be in the movie. So then we have the part of the Guardians go to Ego's planet and all that fun stuff. And this is where Drax, for me, just kind of got boring because he was nothing but jokes. Joke. And some of them were good, most of them were good, and then there was others that just fell flat and I was getting sick of. And he was just a complete idiot in this movie. I said in my Guardians Galaxy review, and I think I talked about it in my Guardians Volume 2 review, that he's kind of an idiot, but he's not. He doesn't understand. This one, he just feels like a complete idiot, and I just thought it was not good for his character. That's not who he is, and he's just dumb. Uh, let's see. So they're back at the planet. The planet looks cool, all that fun stuff. You can tell all of it is like green screen, which I didn't exactly like. Again, Ego with all his backstory. I liked Kurt Russell as Ego, but oh my gosh, it was just backstory after backstory after backstory. And they did a great job, I guess, showing it through like a museum form. I did enjoy that, but it just got to the point where it was nothing but exposition, and it drove me a little bit bonkers. I'm not gonna lie. What do we got next then? There was the scene with Rocket setting up the traps for the Ravengers. I thought that scene was fantastic. The fruit thing with Nebula, I thought that was great. And then we're back on the Ravengers ship. All that fun stuff happened. I loved when Baby Groot was going to go with the fin and was just bringing back 10 things. Another joke that a lot of jokes you can only do it like 3 or 5 times, 3 to 5 times I'd say in a movie, and it just kept going and going and going. He just kept bringing back the wrong thing until he finally got it, and he even didn't get it. It was the one other guy, I forget his name, but that guy was the one who actually brought it. Uh, we see a lot of bonding between Drax and Mantis, which some of it was fine. Other parts of it, I was like, okay, I get Mantis is part of this now, but can we please get back to the Guardians, not Mantis? Because Mantis is a fine character. She did great, had a great performance. I was getting sick of it. I was getting bored. I wanted more with the Guardians. If Drax is telling us this horrible story of, his wife and his child, I want them to be talking that with his friends, not this random character that we just essentially met. So I didn't like that. I do like seeing that Gamora and Peter are coming more. We're seeing their relationship flow more, and most of the stuff with Ego and Peter was good. I'm one of the few people that did not like the scene where they were like throwing the weird space ball, playing catch. Like I was like, wow, it's just on the nose. Like I said in my review, there's a lot of moments that just feel like Fast and Furious. It felt like Kurt Russell could have literally been filming scenes for Fast and Furious and Guardians of the Galaxy at the same time. And it just got a little obnoxious for me, getting a little too cheesy for me. Didn't enjoy that portion of it necessarily, but there was some good moments with the song. I believe it was a Brandy song. And we gotta talk about that right now too. I don't remember any songs from this movie. I really don't. Whereas the first one, I wanted to go buy the soundtrack. I knew like every song that I was gonna be listening to buying the soundtrack. And I just The cameo with Stan Lee was fantastic, where he's like a FedEx guy, or he was talking about how he was a FedEx guy, and throwback to Civil War, his cameo in Campbell Civil War, and how he might be one of the Watchers. I thought that was fantastic. That's awesome. That is brilliant. And I liked the scene where Rocket's like, hey, we're going to get to Quill now, and they're just like, boom, 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 jumping all over the place. However, they do it, and then they cut for like, it seemed like 15, 20 minutes, and then we come back to it. And that was one of those jokes. I'm like, okay, we get it. We got it. Let's quit this joke. Let's move on. And they're still just... It got a little obnoxious for me. Another one of those things that was just a little too much for me. And then we basically get towards the end of the movie and we find out, shocker, that Kurt Russell was the villain. And I know in the comics he's a villain. I haven't actually read the comics, but I knew he was kind of a villain and all that fun stuff. But it just, the way it was done, I didn't like it at all. It felt on the nose and just, I killed your mom by putting a tumor in her, and it just, I didn't like it at all. I didn't, I don't know what it was. It just seemed too on the nose. It seemed forced, and I didn't like it. However, I did like that we finally got the Guardians back together. We got Gamora and Drax, and everyone just reunited. Rocket, everyone was there at the end. We were finally having the fight. I loved the scene that we got from the trailer with Rocket and Groot with the bomb, and then I love, somebody have tape? Hold on, I'll find out. And Peter goes and asks everyone if they have tape, and I love when he says, oh, duct tape would work to Drax, and he's like, well then why didn't you say anything? And I love that scene. Again, with the Guardians together, it worked. When they're apart, I was just kind of bored, to be perfectly honest. There was some good moments, but I was bored. The fight between Kurt Russell and Ego and Peter Quill, it's fine. It just turned into a CGI mess, and I didn't feel anything for it. I did not really get that much from it. Again, towards this part of the movie, there was a lot more cheesy lines about family and blah, 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 blah. And again, it just felt like a Fast and Furious movie to me. I just found myself not enjoying it as much as I wanted to. I love the first Guardians, and it didn't work. Let's see, what are we talking about next? Oh, and then Yondu. Look, I loved Yondu in this movie. I forgot to talk about the prison scene with Yondu and Rocket and Groot. Fantastic scene. I love every part of that scene. Would have loved it even more if the rest of the Guardians were involved with it. Similar to the first one, but with this, it didn't work for me because it just felt so out of place, and it felt like they were just, hey, let's reference the first one and have another prison scene. I liked the scene, but it felt out of place. And Yondu's character again, I liked. But then this thing towards the end where all of a sudden Peter really cares about him and oh, you're actually my dad kind of thing. And what? No, I mean in the first one, Yondu literally there's a line there where he's literally going to kill Peter. Why all of a sudden is it Dad? Don't go. I'm gonna cry. No. No. This just came out of left field for me. I did not buy this at all. I was laughing at this portion of the movie because it was just trying to do that We Are Groot scene from Guardians of the Galaxy. And again, a lot of this just felt like, let's just recreate Guardians of the Galaxy. And I didn't like it. I just did not buy this. It was so ridiculous in my opinion. It just did not work for me at all. So then we have the funeral, and the funeral is nice, I guess, for what it is. We see all these little cameos, all that fun stuff, and it was fine. Again, I liked the joke where Drax was talking about how Nebula was ugly and all that, building that relationship. I did like that. We got what is it called? Not the MP3 player, the Zoom, I think it was called. That's kind of interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Mix 3 now. Is it just gonna be like songs on a Zoom kind of thing? I don't know. I hope we have better music this time around though, because just the music in this movie was so disappointing to me. I love the soundtrack for the first one. This one's just blah. Now the end credit scenes. We see the original Guardians of the Galaxy that are in the comics coming together with Sylvester Stallone's character, all that fun stuff. They come together. Oh, and there's also the scene with the arrow. Yondu's right-hand man, I don't know what his name is, where he gets Drax and he runs away. Fantastic scene, I like that one. The one setting up the Guardians, like, it's fine, I get it. Ooh, they're setting up the other Guardians. I don't know if it's actually going to mean anything. And then we're talking the Gold People, and we're setting up Adam Warlock. I thought the Gold People were ridiculous and stupid throughout the movie. I like the idea of Adam Warlock. I do know who that is. I have read like one comic with him in it. He in the comics, I believe he kills Thanos, helps kill Thanos. He could be a major part of Infinity War. I don't know how he's really going to be. Well, I guess we'll see. But that was definitely interesting. All like just the closing credits were just fantastic. Everyone dancing, the I Am Groot, all that. Jeff Goldblum's character, what's his name? Sorcerer Supreme, maybe? No, not Sorcerer Supreme. What is it? I don't remember. I'm tired. Can you tell? Anyway, so Jeff Goldblum shows up dancing, all that fun stuff. End credit scene with Groot as a teenager was fantastic. I love seeing Peter Quill as this mommy daddy figure, and Groot's all like a teenager. Loved that. And then at the end with Stan Lee again saying, "Hey, he's gonna take me home. He's with the Watchers." I think that's fantastic. If his character really is like a Watcher, that's awesome. That's a cool way to connect it. I think. Love seeing that. I hope that is what it is because it's fantastic. So in the end, guys, this movie it's not awful. It's fine. It's just I'm super disappointed with it. I've only seen this movie once. I don't necessarily want to pay to see this movie. Again, to be perfectly honest, I was just kind of bored by it. And I didn't like that the Guardians were split. I want them together because that's what I like about them. My favorite scenes in this movie are when the Guardians are together and not all split up apart. I like their chemistry together. I like their weird personalities mixing and mashing. In the end, the movie just really disappointed me. I will probably be seeing it again. Don't necessarily want to support the movie because of the drive-in things that are going on. Disney is expecting drive-ins to pay a crap load of money, I have found out, to have the movie screen at drive-ins. Don't like that. So I don't necessarily want to support this movie either. But in the end, guys, it's fine. It's there's fun to be had. It's a little too long. Don't like the Guardians are split up. Anyways, guys, what were your favorite parts of this movie? You can comment below and spoil the heck out of this movie because this is a spoilers video. I put spoilers in the title. If you're coming into this video expecting no spoilers, well, you're stupid because you don't know how to read. Or you're not stupid and you just didn't know how to read, and I apologize. Anyways, guys, comment below, subscribe, share all that fun stuff. We'll see you soon.